Listen, just listen. Your name echoed through corridors you cannot see. 3 times, each utterance more urgent than the last. This isn't poetry, this isn't metaphor. This is the raw bleeding truth of what happened while you slept last night, unaware that heaven itself was fracturing with concern for you. I need you to understand something before we go further. What you are about to hear will either save your life, or you will dismiss it as another message in your endless scroll, but heaven doesn't get second chances to deliver warnings this urgent. God doesn't cry often, but last night was different. Last night, the tears that fell from divine eyes created ripples across dimensions you cannot comprehend, and each ripple carried your name like a desperate prayer in reverse. You felt it, didn't you, that strange pressure in your chest around 3 a.m., that moment when sleep abandoned you without explanation, when the air felt thick with something you couldn't name. That wasn't anxiety, beloved, that was the spiritual realm pressing against your consciousness, trying to wake you before something irreversible happened. Your guardian angel was screaming, literally screaming your name, but the veil between worlds is thick and all you felt was unease. Even now as you read this, there is a trembling in the heavens, not out of anger but heartbreak, because this isn't the first time he tried to warn you. Remember 2 weeks ago when you had that dream you couldn't shake, the one with shadows and whispers and a door you couldn't open? That was warning number 1. Remember last Tuesday when your phone died at exactly the moment you were about to make that call? That was warning number 2. Remember yesterday when you felt that sudden urge to pray but pushed it aside for later? That was warning number 3. This is the final chance. There are no more signs after this. No more dreams, no more gentle whispers. If you ignore this, if you turn away one more time, you will regret it in ways you cannot yet imagine. Not because God will punish you, but because what is coming requires divine protection and you are about to walk outside the covering through your own choices. And even now God still loves you enough to try again. Even now, with eyes that have cried over you all night long, He is sending this final word in hope that you might hear, that your soul might tremble the way the angels did when your name was whispered across the throne room of heaven, followed by the word danger. The kind of danger that doesn't announce itself, the kind that wears familiar faces and speaks in voices you trust. A danger you don't see but He does. A danger you have been brushing off. A danger that has been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It has been watching you, studying your patterns, learning your weaknesses, waiting for the exact moment when your guard is lowest. But God saw it, and He wept, and He sent message after message to your spirit through dreams, through feelings, through strange delays, through moments where things didn't make sense, trying to protect you. Think about it. Really think about it. How many times in the past month have plans fallen through at the last minute? How many times have you reached for your phone to text that person and something stopped you? How many times have you been about to say yes to that opportunity and felt a check in your spirit? That wasn't coincidence, that wasn't bad luck, that was heaven intervening, angels redirecting, God Himself stepping into your timeline to prevent disaster. You felt uneasy recently, didn't you? You sensed something off and then you dismissed it. You thought maybe you were overthinking. But what if that wasn't your imagination? What if that was the Holy Spirit pulling on your sleeve like a desperate friend in a burning building saying, "We need to leave now"? What if every single time you felt that knot in your stomach, that tension in your shoulders, that whisper in your mind saying something's wrong, what if that was heaven's emergency broadcast system trying to reach you? What if every delay, every sudden shift, every sleepless night, every dream you couldn't interpret was part of a divine language? What if this moment right here was the final attempt to grab your attention before something irreversible is unleashed? Because there is a spiritual contract with your name on it, written in languages you don't understand, sealed with intentions you cannot see, and it is about to be activated unless you move now. God says, my child, I am not trying to scare you, I am trying to protect you, but what is coming I cannot shield you from it unless you listen, unless you obey, unless you stop everything and hear me now. There are people speaking lies about you behind your back, planning things in dark places, and their timing is coordinated with something spiritual. Last Wednesday at exactly 7:43 p.m., while you were going about your evening, there was a conversation about you. Your name was mentioned 4 times, each time with more venom than the last. The enemy is using them not because you are weak, but because you are chosen, and chosen ones are always targeted, always misjudged, always isolated before their elevation. You have wondered why some people suddenly changed towards you, why someone close became distant, why someone who once supported you is now silent, and why others have grown unusually bold in challenging you. These aren't random personality shifts, these are spiritual assignments being carried out by people who don't even realize they have become weapons. It is not just emotions, it is not just coincidence. This is spiritual warfare dressed in everyday clothes, wearing familiar faces, speaking in voices you once trusted. You are under observation, but not just by them, by heaven, because heaven still believes in you. Heaven still sees you as worth saving. Even though you doubted yourself, even though you got tired, even though you started wondering if maybe all of this was in vain, God still says you are His. Listen to me very carefully now. What I am about to tell you will sound impossible, but it is more real than the device you are reading this on. 3 nights ago, while you slept, there was a divine council meeting about your situation. Your name was brought before the throne, not in judgment but in urgent concern. Michael the Archangel himself stood and spoke on your behalf, his voice like thunder saying, this one must not fall. Too much depends on their survival. You are about to step into something that is going to define the rest of your life, but you must not miss this moment. There is a door that has been prepared for you, a door that leads to everything you have been praying for, but there is also a trap that has been set, disguised as an opportunity, wrapped in everything you think you want. Someone is trying to sabotage your next season. They have been trying to pull information about you, twist your words, record things, extract your secrets. They have been asking questions that seem innocent but carry hidden agendas. Someone has been reporting about you without your knowledge. There is literally a dossier being compiled, not physically but spiritually. Every weakness noted, every vulnerability mapped, every soft spot identified. You felt the suspicion, the betrayal, but you kept second guessing it because you are a person of love. But God says, I saw it, I watched it happen. I watched the conversation you were never invited to. I watched the agreement behind closed doors. I saw the signatures. I heard the laughter. I watched the jealousy turn into action. The meeting happened in a place you know well, with people you see regularly, and your future was discussed like you were already defeated. Plans were made, strategies were formed, and assignments were distributed. And it pained me because I gave them a chance to stop, I gave them a moment to repent, but they didn't. So now I am stepping in, but you must meet me in obedience. You must not return to what I pulled you away from, that relationship that ended badly, that job that drained your spirit, that friendship that always left you feeling less than. You must not contact the one I told you to release. You know exactly who I am talking about. The one whose name makes your chest tight, the one you keep checking on through other people's social media. You must not rejoin the one who keeps stabbing you in the spirit while smiling in your face. There is someone who texts you only when they need something, who remembers you exist only when their other options fail, who keeps you as a backup plan while treating you like you are disposable. You must not lend your trust to the one who keeps proving they cannot handle your anointing. You must not keep justifying the behavior of someone who is hiding intentions darker than you know. Because there is someone in your life who isn't who they appear to be, they are in disguise even to themselves. They wake up every morning not realizing they have been recruited by darkness. They go through their day not knowing that every interaction with you is being influenced by forces they cannot see. They don't know they have become a tool in the hands of the enemy, that every time they look at you they are reminded of their own unhealed wounds, that every time they hear about your progress something inside of them boils. This person has been in your life for a while, long enough to know your patterns, your weaknesses, your triggers. They know exactly what to say to make you doubt yourself. They know exactly which buttons to push to make you react. They know exactly how to make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. They have been smiling in front of you but gnashing their teeth in private. They have been monitoring you more than supporting you. Your successes physically pain them. Your happiness feels like punishment to them. Your breakthrough would be their breakdown. And God says, this is the one I kept warning you about. I tried to show you in dreams. Remember the dream with the snake that had a familiar face. I tried to stir your discernment. Remember when you felt uncomfortable for no logical reason. I tried to delay your meetings. Remember all those cancelled plans that frustrated you. I tried to make you uncomfortable around them, but you kept giving them grace. You kept convincing yourself that your love could heal what only I can heal. You kept believing that if you just showed them enough kindness, enough patience, enough understanding, they would change. But some people aren't broken, they are assigned, and no amount of your love can override their mission. You kept putting yourself in spiritual danger because of your compassion, and now I am begging you, please. Don't ignore this again. Please don't give them another opening. Because the next thing you allow in your space is going to shape your future. One wrong agreement can open doors you cannot close. There are spiritual laws you don't understand, contracts that can be formed through simple agreements, covenants that can be established through repeated interactions. One wrong visit to that place you know you shouldn't go. One wrong call to that person you know you should have blocked. One emotional moment where you let someone in again can cost you the very blessing you have been praying for. That blessing has your name on it. It has been signed and sealed in heaven, but it requires you to be in the right position to receive it. And you have come too far, you have survived too much, you have endured too many battles, you have cried too long to let it all unravel now. Think about everything you have been through in the last 2 years. The betrayals that almost broke you, the losses that brought you to your knees, the nights you didn't think you would make it to morning. You survived all of that for a reason. You were kept alive for this moment, for this decision, for this divine pivot that is about to change everything. I am still your God, I still hold your future, but I will not override your will. I will keep warning, but I will not force you. I will cry, but I will not intervene if you keep opening the door to your enemies. Free will is a gift I will not take back, even when I see you using it to hurt yourself. You don't know what they are planning, but I do. You don't see the documents, you don't see the cameras, you don't see the whispered conversations and fake apologies. There is someone who has been screenshotting your messages, someone who has been sharing your private information, someone who has been building a case against you for reasons you don't understand. You don't see what has been buried behind their silence, but I do. And I am telling you, this is the moment to disconnect completely, spiritually, emotionally, practically. This is not bitterness, this is survival. There is something waiting for you, a blessing so large it will silence your enemies and shock your relatives. It is not just provision, it is positioning. It is not just breakthrough, it is transformation. It is not just blessing, it is generational impact, the kind of elevation that skips levels, the kind of favor that opens doors you didn't know existed, the kind of anointing that changes atmospheres just by your presence. But you must be positioned for it. You cannot receive it while holding hands with those who are aligned against it. You cannot carry this level of favor while still entertaining people who only love you when you are small. These people celebrate your struggles and mourn your victories. They are comfortable with your pain but threatened by your power. You must choose. You must draw the line. You must walk away from what keeps delaying you. I have tried to give you signs through people, through sermons, through sudden clarity, and you noticed, but you doubted. You thought maybe I am wrong. Maybe it is just me. Remember when that stranger said something that spoke directly to your situation, that wasn't random? Remember when you heard that message that felt like it was recorded just for you? That was me speaking. Remember when you suddenly understood something that had confused you for years? That was divine revelation. But my child, it wasn't just you, it was me. It was me pulling your heart away from danger. It was me making you uncomfortable in that conversation. It was me making you hesitate before sending that message. It was me turning your stomach when that person entered the room, and still you doubted. You questioned whether you were being paranoid, whether you were overreacting, whether you were being unforgiving. But now there is no time left. This is it. One wrong step from here, and it may take years to repair. The window that is open right now will not open again. The opportunity that is presenting itself is once in a lifetime. The divine alignment that is happening is rare and precious and time-sensitive. I am not trying to scare you. I am trying to save you. I am trying to give you a final open door you must walk through, but this time you must do it differently. You must obey fully. No more excuses. No more half-listening. No more temporary obedience. Full surrender now. Not tomorrow when you feel ready. Not next week when things calm down. Now while heaven is moving. Your breakthrough depends on it. Your safety depends on it. The prayers of your ancestors that have been stored up for generations, the angels assigned to you since before you were born, the divine instructions hovering over your life waiting to be activated, they all depend on your yes. Not a maybe, not a probably, not a yes with conditions, but a complete, total, absolute yes. You have cried asking me to show you who is real. I did. You just didn't want to believe it because the truth hurt too much. You asked me to open the right doors. I did, but you were still clinging to the wrong ones out of fear of the unknown. You asked me to protect you. I did, by sending this message right now one last time, one final nudge before the moment passes. This is your moment. Heaven is silent, watching, waiting for your decision, because based on it everything else will either align or collapse. The angels assigned to you are waiting for permission to move. The blessings prepared for you are waiting for the right conditions. The miracles with your name on them are waiting for your obedience to activate them. Do not scroll past this. Do not take this lightly. Do not minimize it. Read it again if you must. Sit with it, pray over it. Fast if you need clarity, but do not delay. Do not talk yourself out of obedience. Your mind will try to rationalize why this doesn't apply to you. Your emotions will try to convince you it is too hard. Your flesh will try to negotiate for more time. This is bigger than your emotions. This is bigger than your comfort zone. This is your destiny. The reason you were born, the purpose you have been searching for, the meaning behind all your pain, it is all connected to this moment, to this decision, to this divine invitation to step into who you really are. You are one decision away from stepping into a future that will redeem every painful thing you have ever endured. Every tear will make sense. Every betrayal will have purpose. Every loss will be revealed as divine redirection. I still believe in you. I still love you. I still have plans for you that would blow your mind if you could see them, but you must close the door on what I told you to leave behind. You must shut the access points, those areas where the enemy keeps getting in. You must guard your heart, your space, your calling like the treasures they are. Stop giving permanent positions to temporary people. Stop giving your best to those who give you their leftovers. Stop pouring into broken cisterns that can never hold what you are offering. Because what is coming next is going to blow your mind, but only if you are in position, only if you are ready, only if you choose me fully, immediately, without hesitation. This isn't about perfection. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be positioned. God is speaking. Don't let his tears fall in vain. He has been trying to warn you for hours. Now he is saying this is your final chance. The clock in heaven is ticking differently than the one on your wall. In the spiritual realm, deadlines are approaching, decisions are being finalized, and destinies are being sealed. Don't skip it. Don't ignore it. Don't say maybe later, please. Open your heart now before it is too late. Because you are loved with a love that would break your heart if you could fully feel it. You are chosen for something so specific that no one else could do it, and you are running out of time to step into it. God has not turned his face from you, but he has been quiet, watching what you would do with this final warning. He has been holding back angels from intervening just to see if your heart would shift on its own, not because he doesn't love you, but because he wants to see if you truly love him enough to listen when it costs you something. This isn't a test of punishment. It is a test of alignment, because when someone is marked by heaven, the standards are different. You don't get the luxury of ignoring divine instructions and still expecting peace. You don't get to blend in with the world and still expect favor to follow you. You are set apart, and with that calling comes a weight, a sacred one, and your next decision is going to prove if you are ready for the level of glory God is about to release. And yes, it will be released. That is why the warfare has increased. That is why your body has been under strange attacks. That is why your sleep hasn't been peaceful. That is why confusion tried to cloud your thoughts. The migraines that came out of nowhere, the anxiety that has no natural source, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't cure, these aren't medical issues, they are spiritual attacks designed to weaken you before the breakthrough. Because hell has sensed something rising around you, something is forming in the spirit, something with your name on it. It is bigger than you have imagined, more powerful than you have dreamed, more impactful than you have dared to hope. The enemy is desperate to interrupt it before it becomes visible, before it manifests in the natural, before it becomes undeniable. That is why someone tried to emotionally break you recently. That conversation that went too far. Those words that cut too deep, that betrayal that felt orchestrated. That is why someone is suddenly talking about leaving you, creating chaos where there was peace, stirring up problems that didn't exist before. That is why someone is acting cold and silent, withdrawing their support at the exact moment you need it most. It is all a demonic orchestration designed to shake you emotionally so that you miss the divine download. But God says, don't be shaken, be still and know that I am God. I will fight for you, I will silence the liars with truth, I will expose the deceivers with light. I will remove the obstacles with power, but I need your agreement, I need your obedience. I need you to close the door to the one who keeps pretending to care while secretly plotting against you. There is someone in your life whose presence is poisoning your progress. You feel heavy every time you interact with them, like life is being drained from your bones. You feel drained even from their text messages. You feel doubtful after every conversation. You feel confused about things that were once clear. That is not love, that is warfare, and you have been calling it connection, but it is really spiritual sabotage wrapped in familiar packaging. Let me show you who they are. Let me reveal their true intentions. I will do it in the next 24 hours if you ask me. You will see signs you cannot ignore, evidence you cannot deny, proof that will hurt but heal. But will you believe me when I show you? Will you have the courage to walk away when I give you proof? Or will you stay out of fear of being alone, out of nostalgia for what was, out of guilt for protecting yourself? My child, this is not the time to let your heart be louder than my voice. This is the time to trust me more than your feelings, because feelings lie, but I never do. Your feelings will tell you to hold on, but I am telling you to let go. Your emotions will say you need them, but I am saying they need to leave. I told you I would never leave you, and I meant it. I told you I would protect you, and I have, even when you didn't notice. Even when you were surrounded by spiritual assassins and didn't know it, I was there. That meeting you weren't invited to where your future was discussed. I was there. That phone call where lies were spread about you. I heard every word, that plot that was formed against you in secret. I saw it all. I blocked attacks that were scheduled to destroy your mind. I blocked deals that would have led to your downfall. I disrupted friendships that were demonic in disguise. I dried up relationships that would have pulled you into a cycle of delay. You thought I was punishing you when those relationships ended, when those doors closed, when those opportunities disappeared, but I was saving you. Every closed door was protection, every ended relationship was redirection, every lost opportunity was divine intervention, and I am still saving you, but you must work with me. There is a contract, spiritual and physical, that someone is trying to place on your name. They want to bind you not in love but in fear, not in loyalty but in manipulation. They know things about your past, mistakes you have made, secrets you have kept, and they are prepared to use them. They are using what they know about your past to keep you quiet, to keep you compliant, to keep you from stepping into your power. But your past does not have the power they think it does. Your past has already been paid for, washed in blood, redeemed by sacrifice, restored by grace. It has no legal authority to speak against you anymore. The case has been dismissed. The charges have been dropped. The record has been expunged in heaven's court. But if you let them make you feel unworthy, if you let them trap you in shame, they will have access again. I need you to walk boldly now. I need you to declare who you are, a child of the Most High, royalty in the Spirit, chosen before the foundation of the world. I need you to say it out loud where the enemy can hear it, where the angels can witness it, where heaven can record it. I need you to break every soul tie that is keeping you stuck. Every unholy connection, every toxic bond, every destructive alliance. Say their names if you must, release them with your words, cancel their assignment with your declaration. You don't owe anyone access to your future just because they were part of your past, and you don't owe loyalty to people who are disloyal to your spirit. The fact that you have history doesn't mean you need to have a future. I know your heart is tender. I made it that way. It is one of your greatest strengths, but I never asked you to be abused in my name. I never asked you to stay in danger just to prove that you are kind. I never asked you to keep ignoring red flags painted in your own blood. Love doesn't require you to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. I ask you to trust me. And now I am asking again, please, for the sake of everything I have placed in you, don't go back. Don't pick up the phone when their name appears. Don't send the message you have typed and deleted 17 times. Don't reply to that DM that has been sitting in your requests. Don't check that profile that you have blocked and unblocked repeatedly. Don't reread the old texts looking for signs you missed. Don't revisit what I already helped you escape, because what is coming next is so holy, so precise, so miraculous, it needs your full focus. You cannot enter this next season with old baggage weighing you down. You cannot walk into promise dragging the chains of your past. There are blessings that will not unlock until the leeches are removed. There are doors that will not open until the weight of manipulation is gone. There are promises I am ready to fulfill, but they are time sensitive. The window is closing, not because I am impatient, but because the spiritual seasons are shifting. You are not waiting on me anymore. I am waiting on you, and while you hesitate, the enemy is negotiating. He is negotiating with people who know you, trying to find the right moment to plant confusion in your path. He is studying your patterns, your weaknesses, your cycles, looking for the perfect moment to strike. He is trying to provoke a reaction out of you that will disqualify you from your blessing, trying to push you into a spiritual trap that will delay your destiny. But I will not let him win if you listen to me now. Do not trust every apology that comes with tears but no change. Do not believe every compliment that comes with conditions. Do not fall for emotional outbursts that have no repentance behind them. Watch their fruit, not their feelings. Listen to how they speak about others, because that is how they speak about you when you are not around. Someone who gossips to you will gossip about you. Someone who betrays others will betray you. Patterns don't lie even when people do. Discern beyond the words. Pay attention to the energy. Ask me to show you and I will, but be prepared for the truth, because it may break your heart before it sets you free. But it will set you free, and that is my goal. Your freedom from chains you don't even know you are wearing, your fullness beyond what you have settled for, your joy that isn't dependent on circumstances, your elevation that no one can reverse, your peace that passes understanding, your calling that has been waiting for you to be ready. I never wanted you to live your life watching your back, constantly anxious about who to trust. I never intended for you to walk around numb from repeated betrayals, anxious from constant warfare, unsure who is real and who is performing. That is not peace, that is survival, and you were not born to survive. You were born to rule, to create things that don't exist, to lead movements, to shift atmospheres, to shine so bright that others find their way by your light. I know you feel tired from fighting battles that never seem to end. I know you are scared of hoping again only to be disappointed. I know you have been through so much that sometimes you wonder if peace is even possible for someone like you. But I also know this: you are ready even if you don't feel it. You are stronger than you realize. You are closer than you think. You don't see what I see when I look at you. You don't know how many demons trembled when you woke up this morning, still believing, still standing, still refusing to give up. You don't know how many angels are standing guard around you right now with swords drawn, waiting for the command to move. You don't know how much power is in your words when you speak in alignment with heaven, but soon you will. If you obey now, if you release what needs to be released no matter how much it hurts, if you protect what is left of your strength instead of giving it to those who waste it, I will open doors so quickly it will scare your enemies. The same people who counted you out will watch you rise. I will promote you in front of the ones who mocked you. I will send unexpected favor through unexpected people. I will break generational curses that have plagued your bloodline for centuries. I will restore the years that were stolen, multiplied back with interest. I will silence the ones who tried to bury you with the sound of your success. And I will raise you up in public so they all know who was with you the entire time, whose hand was on your life, whose favor carried you through. But you must act now while the oil is flowing, while the wind is blowing, while heaven is moving. Don't delay thinking you have time. Don't second guess. What you know in your spirit is true. Don't explain yourself to people who never saw you clearly in the first place. Just obey quietly, swiftly, boldly. Because this is your moment of moments, this is your final warning wrapped in love, this is your divine appointment with destiny. Heaven is standing still, holding its breath, waiting to see if you will choose faith over familiarity, power over pain, truth over tolerance, destiny over distraction. Do not scroll away like this is just another message in your feed. Do not move on to the next thing like this is entertainment. Stay here, sit with this, let it soak into your spirit like oil. Let it penetrate those hard places that have been resistant to change. Because this is not just another message, this is a lifeline being thrown to you while you are drowning in situations you think are normal. This is a spiritual lifeline being extended to you at the last possible second before certain doors close forever. Grab it with both hands, cling to it like your life depends on it, follow it back to safety. It will not steer you wrong, and above all remember this: God is not done with you. He never was. He is still writing your story, and the best chapters haven't been released yet. He is still speaking to you even when you stopped listening. He is still waiting for you even when you stopped coming. But now He is weeping, divine tears, falling like rain in the spiritual realm. Because He knows what is coming and He is begging you not to miss your moment. You have asked for confirmation so many times. This is it, written in language you cannot misunderstand. You have prayed for clarity until your knees were sore. This is it, delivered directly to your spirit. You have cried for help in the darkness when no one could hear you. This is it. Heaven's response, arriving at the perfect time. Don't ignore it thinking something better will come. It will not. Don't delay thinking you will have another chance. You will not. It is not too late, but it soon will be. The train is leaving the station. The ship is leaving the port, the door is swinging closed. God saw you crying when no one else did, in your car, in your shower, into your pillow at night. He heard the whispers you didn't repeat to anyone, the prayers that were more like screams. The questions that had no words, just groans. The ones that came from your own heart late at night when the world had gone silent and your soul was aching for an answer that never seemed to come. And still He waited patiently, not because He didn't care but because He was preparing something worth the wait. He was hoping you would remember what He already told you in the quiet moments, in the sacred spaces, in the thin places where heaven touches earth. You are not alone, you never were. That feeling of isolation was an illusion created by the enemy. Even in your loneliest moments, heaven surrounded you like an invisible army. Even when you felt ignored by people, you were being protected by angels who never sleep. Even when rejection slammed the door in your face, God was behind it, whispering, "Not this one child. It will hurt you. I have something better." But now He is running out of time to prepare you for what is coming. This is the hour of decision. This is the moment of truth. The final thread is dangling between breakthrough and breakdown, and what you do next will decide whether it holds or snaps. You have already had dreams that were more than dreams. They were glimpses into the spiritual realm, flashes of warning dressed as symbolism, feelings that woke you from your sleep with your heart pounding. Someone's name keeps popping into your mind. Someone you love or once loved, but something is off. Something has shifted, something is wrong. You have ignored that divine nudge because you didn't want to believe what it might mean. You didn't want to accept that someone you trusted could betray you, that someone you loved could wish you harm, that someone you helped could be plotting your downfall. But heaven cannot stay quiet any longer when your destiny hangs in the balance. What that person is doing behind your back is darker than you can comprehend. What they have said in secret, what they have written in private, what they have agreed to in the shadows, it is not for your good. The words they have spoken over your life when you weren't there to defend yourself have created atmospheres you are walking into unaware. And yet God is still giving them a chance to stop, one final opportunity to repent. That is why there is a pause right now, why everything feels strange and suspended, why things seem frozen around you like time itself is holding its breath. Because this is the moment when justice and mercy are in tension, when heaven wants to protect you but also wants to give everyone a chance to change their mind, to change their heart, to change their course. The angels are holding their positions waiting for one more instruction, and that instruction depends on what you do right now with this message. Will you believe it or will you dismiss it as coincidence? Will you act on it or will you delay until it is comfortable? Will you trust or will you doubt until the moment passes? The choice is yours, but understand this: whatever you choose in the next few moments will echo through eternity. It will determine not just your tomorrow but your entire trajectory, not just your breakthrough but your bloodline's freedom, not just your blessing but your generational impact. This isn't about fear, it is about divine timing that will not repeat, it is about spiritual alignment that is rare and precious. It is about stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be before the world convinced you to be smaller, quieter, less powerful. And yes, there will be loss as you disconnect from what is familiar but toxic. Yes, there will be moments of loneliness as you create boundaries with those who benefited from your lack of them. Yes, there will be questions from those who don't understand why you are changing, why you are different, why you will not accept what you used to tolerate. But on the other side of your obedience is a glory that will make every sacrifice worth it. A peace that will heal wounds you forgot you had, a joy that will erase years of sorrow in an instant, a love that will show you what you have been accepting was counterfeit. The real thing is waiting for you, but you have to let go of the fake to grab hold of the authentic. I am not asking you to understand everything because some things are too holy for human comprehension. I am asking you to trust me with everything, including what doesn't make sense, especially what doesn't make sense. I am not asking you to see the full picture because your eyes couldn't handle the glory of what is being prepared. I am asking you to take the next step even though you cannot see the staircase, and that step begins with releasing what I have been telling you to release, that person whose name just flashed in your mind, that situation that makes your stomach turn, that habit that has become your secret shame, that connection that everyone thinks is good, but you know is killing you slowly. You know exactly what it is because your spirit cringes every time you think about it, your body tenses, your peace evaporates. Let it go, not tomorrow when you have had time to prepare, not later when you feel stronger, not when you understand why. Now, in this moment while heaven is watching with anticipation, while angels are positioned for warfare, while the door is still open for divine exchange, your pain for purpose, your ashes for beauty, your mourning for joy, because I love you too much to watch you suffer anymore, in situations you think are normal but are actually spiritual prisons. I love you too much to let the enemy win after you have fought so hard to survive. I love you too much to remain silent when I see danger approaching that you cannot perceive with natural eyes. This is love speaking through divine interruption. This is truth calling your name in a frequency only your spirit can hear. This is heaven reaching down one final time before the moment passes into history as either your greatest victory, or your most devastating delay. Will you reach back with trembling hands but willing heart? Will you grab hold even though you cannot see what you are grabbing? Will you trust that the God who created galaxies with his breath can handle your situation without your help? He can and he will, but only if you let him. Only if you stop trying to control what was never meant for your hands, only if you surrender what you have been gripping so tightly it is cutting off your own circulation and you have mistaken the numbness for normal. Open your hands and watch what falls away. It needed to go. Open your heart and feel what flows in. It is what you have been missing. Open your spirit and receive what heaven has been trying to deliver. Let heaven flood in like water breaking through a dam. Let healing begin in places you have protected from everyone, including God. Let transformation take place at the cellular level of your spirit. Because you are standing at the threshold of something magnificent, something that will redefine everything you thought you knew about yourself, something that will prove that every tear was watering seeds. Every struggle was building strength, every dark night was preparing you for a dawn so bright it will blind your enemies. The moment when heaven says enough is enough, the moment when God Himself intervenes in human affairs for your sake, the moment when your entire story pivots from survival to revival, from existing to truly living, from being targeted to being elevated above the reach of those who meant you harm. This is that moment. Don't let it pass while you overthink. Don't let fear steal it with whispers of what if. Don't let doubt dilute it with logical arguments that cannot comprehend spiritual truth. Don't let the familiar pull you back into patterns that were designed to destroy you gradually, so slowly you thought the destruction was just life. Step forward. Even if your knees are shaking so hard you can barely stand, speak up even if your voice trembles like leaves in a storm, declare your freedom even if you are not sure what freedom looks like yet. Believe even if everything in your past says you shouldn't, even if every disappointment is screaming that hope is dangerous. Because this time is different, this time heaven is involved at a level you have never experienced. This time the outcome is already determined in your favor, written in the books of heaven, sealed with divine authority. All you have to do is align with it through obedience. All you have to do is say yes without conditions. All you have to do is trust that the God who has kept you alive through everything that should have killed you has a reason for your survival that is about to be revealed. You are not an accident no matter what they told you. You are not a mistake regardless of how you arrived. You are not forgotten even though it feels like heaven is silent. You are chosen for something so specific that no one else could fulfill it. You are loved with an intensity that would shatter your heart if you felt it fully. You are about to see the greatest plot twist of your entire existence. But it begins with this moment of decision. It begins with your response to this divine interruption. It begins with you believing that this message found you for a reason, that these words are not random, that this timing is not coincidental but orchestrated by heaven itself. Heaven orchestrated this intersection between your need and this revelation, between your questions that keep you up at night and these answers arriving like keys to locked doors, between your pain that you have carried so long you forgot what it feels like to be free, and this promise of deliverance that seems too good to be true. Don't waste it by scrolling past, don't minimize it by comparing it to other messages. Don't rationalize it away with logic that cannot comprehend miracles. Let it be what it is, a divine interruption of your regularly scheduled programming, a holy intervention in your timeline, a sacred reset of everything you thought was permanent. Let it change you at levels you didn't know needed changing. Let it free you from prisons you didn't know you were in. Let it launch you into the destiny that has been waiting for you to be ready. And you are ready now even though everything in you says you are not. You are ready even if you don't feel it because readiness isn't about feeling, it is about positioning. You are ready even if you are scared because courage isn't the absence of fear, it is moving forward despite it. You are ready even if you have failed before because your past failures were just practice runs for this moment of victory, because this isn't about your strength. It is about His power. This isn't about your ability to hold on, it is about His ability to hold you. This isn't about your qualifications, it is about His choice, and He chose you before you were born, before you could earn it or lose it, before you could prove yourself worthy or unworthy. Make yourself available to what heaven wants to do. Say yes to heaven's agenda even when it conflicts with your comfort. Say yes to transformation even when it requires letting go of what is familiar. Say yes to leaving behind what has been slowly killing your spirit one compromise at a time. Say yes to life, not just breathing but living. Real life, abundant life overflowing with purpose. the kind of life that makes angels rejoice because another child of God has stepped into their inheritance, the kind that makes demons flee because they recognize authority when they see it walking in human form. That life is waiting for you on the other side of your obedience. It is waiting for you to close the door on what needs to end, waiting for you to stop negotiating with your Egypt when your promised land is in sight. It is waiting for you to open your heart to what needs to begin, even though beginnings are scary and endings are painful. The clock is ticking, but not just the one on your wall. Heaven's clock is ticking, spiritual deadlines are approaching, divine appointments are being scheduled. Angels are ready to move on your behalf, miracles with your name on them are loaded and waiting for release. God is waiting for one word from you, one yes, that will activate everything. What will you do with this moment? What will you choose when heaven and hell are watching? How will you respond when your response determines your future? The next few moments will tell the story of the next few years. Make them count like your life depends on it, because in ways you don't understand, it does. Make them matter like generations are watching, because they are. Make them the moments when everything changed, when heaven invaded earth on your behalf, when God Himself showed up in your situation and said, "Enough is enough, my child will be free." Because you deserve to be free from weights you were never meant to carry. You deserve to be whole without having to earn it through suffering. You deserve to walk in the fullness of your calling without the weight of other people's opinions, expectations, or limitations dragging you down. Let it go. All of it, the whole heavy load. Let it fall like chains breaking, like walls crumbling, like prison doors swinging open, and watch what God does when you create space for His miracles by removing what has been blocking them. Watch how quickly things shift when you align with heaven's agenda instead of trying to make heaven align with yours. Watch how doors open that seemed permanently sealed by rejection. Watch how provision flows from unexpected sources that make no logical sense. Watch how peace replaces anxiety like light replacing darkness instantly and completely. Watch how joy replaces sorrow not gradually but suddenly, like a dam breaking and releasing what has been held back. Watch how purpose replaces confusion and suddenly everything makes sense. Every piece falls into place. Every question finds its answer. This is your moment of decision that will echo through eternity. This is your divine appointment that was scheduled before you were born. This is heaven's final whisper before the roar of your breakthrough drowns out every other sound. Listen closely with more than your ears, with your spirit. Respond quickly before your mind talks you out of it. Trust completely, even though trust has been broken before. Your miracle is waiting for release, your freedom is calling your name, your destiny is ready to be unveiled. All of heaven is holding its breath for your next move. Make it count with the weight of eternity behind it. Make it bold like someone who knows heaven backs them. Make it now while the portal is open, while the oil is flowing, while the wind of the Spirit is blowing. God is in tears because He loves you that much. Because your freedom matters that much to the kingdom, because your destiny is that important to His plan. Don't let His tears be in vain like water poured on concrete. Don't let this moment pass unmarked like all the others you have let slip through your fingers. Don't let another day end with you still bound to what He is trying to free you from, still connected to what is killing you, still entertaining what is limiting you. This is it. The moment you will look back on as the turning point. This is your final chance to step into everything you were created for before the door closes and the opportunity passes to someone else who will say yes. The decision is yours, but heaven is hoping with anticipation, praying with intensity, believing with confidence that you will choose freedom over bondage, that you will choose life over existence. That you will choose to trust the one who has never failed you even when you couldn't see Him working, especially when you couldn't see Him working. He is working now, right now, as you read these words. He is orchestrating something beautiful from the ashes of what you thought was lost forever. He is writing a comeback story that will be told for generations. But you must participate through obedience, you must respond with action, you must believe with decision. Do you believe in more than just words but with movement? Will you trust with more than just your mind but with your choices? Can you let go with more than just your hands but with your heart? Heaven is waiting for your answer, and your answer will determine everything that happens next in your story. Choose wisely like someone who understands the weight of the moment. Choose quickly like someone who recognizes opportunity when it knocks. Choose faith like someone who knows that God is faithful even when people aren't. Your breakthrough depends on it like rain depends on clouds. Your freedom requires it like flight requires wings. Your destiny demands it like a seed demands soil. This is your moment. Seize it before it becomes a memory of what could have been. Own it like someone who paid for it with their pain. Step into it like someone who knows they were born for it. Heaven is cheering for you with the sound of 1,000 waterfalls. God is fighting for you with the power that spoke worlds into existence. Angels are surrounding you like an army waiting for orders. You are not alone in this decision, you never were. And after today you will never doubt it again, because you will have proof, you will have evidence, you will have testimony. This is your divine turning point where everything changes direction. This is your spiritual pivot where the trajectory shifts upward. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for through every trial, every test, every tear. Don't miss it because you are afraid of what you might lose. Don't delay it because you are comfortable in dysfunction. Don't doubt it because it seems too good to be true. Step forward into the unknown, knowing the one who knows everything goes before you. Step up to the plate knowing this is your time to swing. Step into the magnificent future that has been waiting for you to be ready to receive it without destroying it with old patterns. You are ready now whether you feel it or not. Heaven confirms it with this message. God declares it with divine authority that cannot be revoked. Angels celebrate it with songs you will hear in your spirit. Your time has come like dawn after the longest night. Your season has shifted like spring after endless winter. Your breakthrough is here like rain after drought. Receive it with open hands that have released what they were holding. Believe it with a heart that has been prepared through breaking. Walk in it with feet that have been strengthened through the journey. From this moment forward, everything changes if you let it. Everything elevates if you allow it. Everything aligns if you position yourself correctly. You are no longer who you were when you started reading this. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm. You are transformed by truth, renewed by revelation, released into your destiny by divine decree. Walk forward knowing heaven backs every step. Know that God goes before you clearing the path. Know that angels surround you ensuring safe passage. This is your moment written in heaven's calendar. This is your time prophesied before you were born. This is your divine appointment with destiny that will not wait. Don't let it pass like a ship in the night. Don't let it fade like morning mist. Don't let anything steal what heaven has declared is yours by divine right. It is yours if you claim it with faith. It is yours if you own it with confidence. It is yours if you live it with boldness. Your story is being rewritten as we speak with ink that cannot be erased. The ending is more beautiful than you ever dared to imagine in your wildest dreams. Trust the author who knows how to write redemption. Trust the process that is painful but purposeful. Trust that what is coming is worth everything you are letting go. Everything you are walking away from, everything you are leaving behind, it is worth it. It absolutely is, and soon, very soon, you will see it with your own eyes. You will hold it in your own hands trembling with joy. You will live it with your whole heart, finally understanding why you had to go through everything you went through. This is not the end of your story, this is the beginning of the chapter you have been waiting for. The glorious, magnificent, divine beginning of everything you were born for is starting now. Step into it now while heaven watches. Step into it while God smiles, knowing you finally understood. Step into it while angels rejoice that another warrior has awakened to their purpose. Heaven is waiting for you to walk through the door. God is smiling, knowing you are about to discover what He has been preparing. Angels are rejoicing because the wait is over. Your moment has arrived like thunder after lightning. Your miracle is manifesting like fruit after long season of cultivation. Your destiny is sealed with heaven's seal that cannot be broken. Walk forward in power that comes from knowing who you are. Walk in purpose that comes from knowing why you are here. Walk in divine protection that comes from being aligned with heaven's will. You are chosen for this moment. You are loved beyond comprehension. You are free from everything that tried to bind you, forever and always. You are free. Let that freedom ring like bells in your spirit. Let it shine like light through every crack in your armor. Let it flow like rivers through the desert places of your soul. You are free, and that freedom starts now.